All right, this is the light body reading for the week ahead. So there's been some pretty dramatic shifts here in the last couple weeks. And so what I'm seeing here is people that are really prepared to ground into the new grid system, which is the diamond core timeline. It's the 5D grid and core is where you start. If your resonance isn't high enough, your frequency isn't high enough, you can't ground into the diamond core, but you can get on that timeline, and that's the evolution that we go through in the aura of God. So what I'm seeing here is a group, this is a collective of people that are really ready to shift their frequencies. They're reading on the 5D map, but they're not grounding at all. It's completely blocked, the earth core. Okay, we're seeing distortions in the throat, the heart, and the solar plexus, distortion in the earth star. Frequencies are around 1,000 kilohertz. Masculine, feminine energies are very balanced. Cosmic heart is distorted. They have not activated the diamond star light body, and they have not activated the Merkana yet. The Merkana is required to actually ground into this core. So if you can activate it yourself, then you should do that. You also need the diamond star light body because this is a plasmic field that stabilizes your emotional or your plasmic energy that allows you to ground into this higher frequency core without any fracturing of the emotional or mental fields, or shifting back into the 3D energy. Okay, you have to make this shift to do this in body. Most people were actually just moving up into the higher 4D and existing there. You have to reground, okay, to make this work and to continue the process of evolution here. Okay, so these would need to be balanced out here. I asked why this was coming up and why there were so many people in this position, and they said it's just time. People have crossed this bridge from the 4D to the 5D, and they're just trying to figure it out. Okay, so what are symptoms of not being able to ground? You could be feeling pretty spacey, like you don't want to ground at all, like you just kind of want to go off into your multi-dimensional landscape and exist there, or feeling dizzy. There's a feeling when you shift into the 5D where you feel kind of dizzy. There's a realignment phase with the Ascension stargates at that point, and you can take it on energetically and it feels like you're dizzy. Here I don't see that. What I see here is actually a division between the higher energy centers and the lower are really good and the higher are really good, but there's this bottleneck here of energy and then another bottleneck here at the bottom. Okay, so the energy is really trying to find its place and alignment so it can expand and continue going. So you could feel this as stagnation, as feeling like you need to surrender, like not sure what's going on. But what needs to happen is the energy centers need to be open and balanced so that you can then ground. Okay, again, Merkana needs to be activated in the diamond star light body. Merkana first, a couple weeks after that, diamond star light body. I'll link those in the academy so you guys know. Okay, there is actually a blockage in the earth gateway, and this is some sort of issue with this incarnation. So this may not be for everyone, but it is coming up as a collective reading. So somehow when you incarnated, there was a block or a fear to grounding into the core, probably because you're more evolved. And so you didn't want to ground in the case or the chance that you get stuck in the 3D timeline. Okay, so now that you're here, you have to ground. Okay, so you need to actually sit with that, those feelings, those fears, and allow them to come up, and or do an energy quantum healing session to clear those so that we can then anchor you back into the 5D core. Okay, so that needs to be cleared, and it's from this life. It's not a past life fear. Okay, Then there is some advanced information here. The metallic silver ray is a little bit weak, and what happens when you move into the 5D system is the galactic blueprint activates. This is your highest timeline, highest path. At the 5D level, you will anchor in this galactic timeline, and then 60, if you graduate to 60 again, there'll be another timeline shift, but it will be in alignment with the 5D galactic blueprint. So it's not going to be like the 3D where you shift dramatically in the 4D and then you shift dramatically again into the 5D. It will be consistent, okay? But this needs to be anchored so you can work with the metallic silver ray, because that is what defines the galactic blueprint. It is the the ninth level of the field in the 5D system, okay? Work with your angelic form, because at this level you're anchoring into the emerald heart at the Earth Star, and you are fully embodying and running the angelic template. This is the superhuman angelic template that you activate at the 5D level, okay? So once you anchor into that, that's what you're working with and running in the system. So they're saying to sit with that angelic presence, that angelic form, and begin to feel it, because this is what you need to work with, resonate with, to stabilize these frequencies and these energies, okay? There's also a specific star system that some of you guys are being asked to look into, to work with, as well as receive messages from. So if you travel multidimensionally or do skywalking journeys, sit and see what system's calling you. You may know exactly who and where is calling you, but you're being called to tune into some of these messages, okay? At this level as well, there's a need to amplify your work with light and sound. So in meditation, work with very specific frequencies, the solfeggio frequencies. I have all of those in the Academy, a ton of soundscape meditations that are intentionally designed to help with this shift, okay? So working with the spiritual fire, light resonance, as well as the sounds, okay? And really feeling those shifts at a cellular level, because when you sit in those meditations, you can feel this energy moving through your body, shifting and changing your makeup, your blueprint, as well as your frequency. It's very dramatic, okay? Some of you guys are being called to do the DNA repair. I did get that there was a DNA mutation somewhere, and this is probably where that fear of grounding is coming from. Okay, I can look into that a little bit more. And then we have the star crafting. A lot in the star crafting. So I'm going to show you this book. I always go into these, but this is a great book if you're looking for self-mastery. It goes through the creative process to activate the emotional field, the plasmic field. This is the technology we're moving into in the future. You have to work with creative energies, with the heart field. That is how we create. Here is creative intelligence. And so to access that, any sort of creativity, writing, painting, dancing, those types of things, okay? So this book is actually being recommended. I got 3 cards in relation to that, okay? They are episode 1, human potential and ritual. So you look into human potential. It's the very beginning of the book, what we're capable of, why we're here, what our point is. And that's on the other side of all this chaos, okay? Episode 9, the subtle body painting. So working with your energy field. And what this does is it teaches you how to perceive your own field, okay? It's a lot more advanced than this, but this is a good way to start, and helps you to understand what this whole work is about, okay, in a creative process. Then we have episode 13, soul retrieval, ascension, and channeling. So this just goes into some basics there, okay? And what was I going to ask about the DNA repair? Let me see what this was. Let's see if we can get some info. So this just has some doubts and fears around your ascension process, inner conflict coming into divine union. I feel like some of you guys may have had a fall from grace in a past life. Did I say that what this was from this life? So this could be a different message for those of you, but I am getting the Death and the Tower card. So it's either a fear of this happening or it happened in a past life. Obviously that didn't happen this life, but this is not predictive either. So let me see here. I feel like this is just really deep questions about your spiritual resonance, your advanced team, and your abilities as an advanced being on the planet, what actually is going on. There's a lot of misinformation out there about the ascension process, spiritual paths, and all of that. So you have to be really cautious with that. And that's why I teach people energy mastery, because then you can find that alignment a lot easier. It's way easier to tell what's actually going on when you're harmonic. You don't have all the distortions in your lens. You can see the truth really clearly. So what I recommend people start doing is taking time every single day. And those of you guys that are in the academy are already doing this. So if you're in the academy and you feel like this resonates with you, go back and study some of these classes. Kind of go back to the basics, I would say. But there also could be a blockage, even if you're in the 60 or above, there could be a blockage in the earth core. So make sure you're grounding and anchoring all the way into the core, okay? Because that's what we're really looking at here. This is the primary issue, as well as a resonance with the galactic blueprint, okay? So if some of this information seems like it's old news to you, then look at it from a fresh lens of, well, maybe I need to work with the galactic blueprint or the earth core, okay? 5D, 6D, 7D, or 8D core. But yeah, there's just a fear here, an inner conflict of the ascension path, the ascension process. We are all completely programmed as we come into this reality to believe in the limitations of this time-space or space-time reality. And a lot of the ascension path is breaking down those programs and patterns to allow us to perceive beyond that in our true nature. That's what you're being asked to do, okay? To go within, see where this conflict is, because I think you guys know at core level who you are, what you're capable of, what your potential is here. But there's some limiting beliefs, programs, societal programs and patterns that need to be transcended and dissolved, okay? A lot of times what you need to do is take a step back from social media, from mass consciousness, from the news, even from family, friends for a little bit, and really just sit with that potential and your higher dimensional guides and beings and ask them to help you to perceive what it is you need to perceive to break free from the conditioning and those belief patterns, okay, to allow you to anchor in to this new timeline and this new path, okay? So the recommendations, again, we have the DNA repair and the star crafting, okay? I wanted to show you guys this too. So these are the new star crafting book. I have a hardcover now too. It's actually really nice. So this goes through everything if you're not ready to do the analysis or session or the academy. These are great options. Again, if you would like an analysis, just book online. There's a link below. If you want a celestial reading, you can get that as well, or a one-on-one session. I recommend starting with the analysis, then the academy, and then starting one-on-ones and eventually moving to coaching if it resonates with you, okay? That is the best path and the best way to move through this. Know that if you get this help and support, it's a lot easier moving through this much information in a short amount of time, and it's really simple, okay? There is homework on your part. All I do is harmonize your field. I give you work to do, and every day you can take steps towards that. The coaching is a really great option as well, because I will basically hold your energy while you're going through these really rapid shifts, and it's a lot smoother. Okay, so anyways, that is it for today, and we'll see you next week.